One, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you clearly now. Good.
Right. Yeah, well, Russell, I will then share a PC here now for tonight. So,
No, well, that's great. That's great.
okay.
Timbo, can you hear me? You can. Okay. All right. We'll sort out your mic. Okay, great. The purpose of the Zoom session is to just find out from your side. Obviously, this is very new for you. You've just started the MBA. This is your first module, your first unit, and you may have some pressing questions to ask. If you've not already, sent that through to Corneille and got answers from her or from me. But let's start with an open discussion and just find out, are there any questions that you have at this stage which we can just answer and make your life easier or clear up maybe some uncertainties?
Well, if I must start, I think on our side, Russell and I, we're working together. It helps a lot, actually. So we are two people working together on this, which helps from the one to the other to understand what's going on, see what we don't know. So the feedback, it's fairly okay at this point in time.
Okay, good. Mike, you wanted to say something?
No, just that, I guess it was a little bit daunting at first when you get a bit nervous to not know what to do and where to post, and have I posted it to Wiki and did turn it in, accepted. But overall, I think we got through it all thanks to Shingi and Corneille, and I'm feeling a little bit more at ease with things.
Okay. Look, it will take a day or two, or maybe even a week or two, and then you'll get into it. It's not rocket science, but it is new. It's something totally different, and we have a certain way of doing it. So just to get into the mode of discovering what we want and what works and that sort of thing. So yeah, and Shingi will be a great help, of course, to help you guys. Okay.
I'm just worried when Shingi is actually sleeping.
Shingi, what are your sleeping hours? Because it appears you don't sleep whatsoever.
Shingi doesn't sleep.
I think it's to be blamed on you guys that he doesn't sleep.
I think possibly Shingi may be one of those robots that you guys are cloning.
Yeah.
He's actually not real. He gets a battery charge at the time.
Yeah. Mark, your according on my screen, your audio is okay now. It's okay. Yeah, now.
Hi.
Good. Mark, you're okay. Is there anything that you want to ask?
Yeah, I struggled quite a bit at first with the referencing style.
Yes.
The documents to guide you in referencing aren't very clear, and there's like different documents in different places. But I've sort of looked at all of them and tried to dumb it down as much as I can and just keep like something consistent going. So I think that's working.
Yeah. Look, the referencing in my unit is not going to be really an issue, except right at the end of the 5 weeks when you submit your unit assignment. But even there, it's more like a practical thing rather than a theoretical thing. So, and we specifically did it that way so that you can get used to, what the requirements of Monash is, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I must admit that the referencing style, the one that I've always used for many, many years at different universities, is the shorter Harvard method.
As well.
Yeah, and it's not too far away from what Monash is using. So it's not like a huge jump from the one to the other. But let's be consistent, but we'll get there. We'll help you along the way.
Yeah, I think the consistency is the key, and I kind of like want to get it right now. By the end of the course, then you're quite used to it.
Sure. Yeah, no, there are going to be quite a few units where there's going to be a lot more theoretical stuff that you need to submit, and therefore the referencing style is going to play a significant role. So it's better to get that right from day one.
And I did see on the subject, I did see your post about the following the headings.
Okay,
yeah, go for it.
Can I say something about that, guys? Listen, just one or two tips. First of all, we give you a guideline, and it's really a guideline as to the minimum number of words and the maximum number of words. Sometimes we don't even say minimum. But if we say 1,000 words or 800 words or 500 words or whatever, try to stick to it. What we try to avoid is that 400 words is about one type page. Okay? So if we say 400 words, then it means one type page. We don't want you to submit 5 pages if we say 1 page, that kind of stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. But what is far more important for me is that in the assessments, I ask very specific questions. And it's either numbered A, B, C, D, whatever, or it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we number it, let's say for argument's sake, like in this week's case, 1, 2, 3, 4, then in your posting, you actually need to answer 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the better way academically to answer it is to actually number it 1 with a little subhead, then your answer, then 2 with a little subhead, a little heading, then 3, and then 4. Because remember, come Monday, I'm going to start marking these. And when it's all demakar and it's scrambled eggs, then you can appreciate that you're not going to get the same marks as when it's clearly 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So just stick to the questions, answer the questions, but number them.
Can I still edit that post?
Yeah, I think so, Shingy.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Yes, you may. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Sorry, I just want to put my glasses on. Okay. Yeah, Timba, I hear what you say. But we'll sort you out on the referencing stuff. Okay, don't worry about it. That will come. We'll pay some attention to that. Okay.
Sorry, you mentioned the Porter Harvard method. Is it right?
Shorter Harvard method. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one that was popular for many, many years in academia. For example, let me give you an example. Instead of in your text, let's say you write something and you want to quote something that I've said, then all you do is you just say Kukumur, comma, page, and the page number, and that's it. Okay? You don't spell out the whole title of my book or the whole title of the article because you put that right at the end. So the referencing is simple. That's what it's called the shorter method. You put the author's name. Sometimes some prefer to have a date because there may be multiple dates. I may have written something in 2005 and then 2015. So you put 2005, page 6 or whatever it is. So it's very short. And then right at the end, you have a referencing list and then you give the full title. And this one is pretty similar to that. It's not much different from that. The one that Monash prefers. Darius, can you hear me? Okay, can you undo your... There you go. Okay, there you are.
I had a problem, yeah. I had a problem with my audio, but I sorted it out now. So I just heard,
now I can hear you. I can hear you quite well. So that's great. Right. Welcome to the discussion.
Thanks. I'm just trying it out. I don't have any specific questions, but yeah, that's the how this works.
Good. Okay. Basically, what we've covered so far is just that the referencing style. We'll pay some attention to that, so that you guys get to know that quite well. And secondly, a comment from mine is that I really enjoyed the posting so far. Not all of you have posted yet, but obviously the deadline is only tomorrow for the postings. And then by Sunday, you need to comment on each other's postings, right? I enjoyed the postings. And I made a few comments from what I could get out of it. But I didn't want to take away from your possibility of posting what you felt. So I really looked at it from more a broader point of view and say, okay, this posting, we can learn something from this. And I try to give you some learnings out of that. But obviously, if you want to ask a specific question, like Temba, for example, who posted something on the Department of Home Affairs, I tried to steer away from the question, but I actually ended up giving you the question. And the question there was that, you know, is it really so innovative to extend the working hours? Maybe for the Department of Home Affairs it is very innovative to do that. But for the public, I'm not so sure. And it can lend itself to a nice discussion.
But didn't the department say that they weren't going to pay for those extended hours overtime? That backfired.
It did. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
I had a question with regards to the postings itself, and you can spend hours poring over information trying to find the perfect article. And very often the article doesn't contain the information that you wish to reference. So, for example, you have to, some elements you can't comment on strongly because there isn't information to derive from the article. And some points are, it's rich, so you can pull information from it quite easily. So when I looked at my posting, I realized there were some things that the inventor or the supplier hadn't done, and I thought to myself, was silly. So I had nothing to reference really. How important is the choice of the article, or are you really trying to determine, do we understand the contents, and are we getting to the bottom of the comments, the content? So for example, I could say, actually, there is nothing to comment and point them to because the inventor or the provider or the source did not consider this. Yeah,
but that's your contribution.
Yeah, my concern is that you can spend hours looking for the perfect article, find it, and you're great and lucky. Otherwise, you find an article which actually is quite poor, but it still has relevance, and you point that the ineffectiveness of the article out, or possibly the inefficiencies in the post.
Russell, both work.
Okay.
You know, because we are humans, I will be more impressed if I find the perfect article coming from you. But having said that, if you find an article or an innovation and you give your own personal opinion, and that's why I asked the questions, you know, how would you do the field? And if you were the CEO, you know, how would you deal with it? That's exactly why I did that. So if you deal with it in a very clever way, you're going to get high marks anyway. So it's, yeah, the answer is a very nice article with something, wow, everybody loves it, is obviously impressive. But it's not necessarily what I'm looking for.
Because I found that it was easy to answer point 3 and 4, but difficult to answer point 1 and 2 because there actually wasn't much to the article.
Yes, but that's okay. That's fine. It's the nature of the beast. I mean, it's not a perfect world we live in.
Okay.
You're very quiet, Mr. Naidu.
Because I haven't done my article yet.
Okay.
Tom is speaking.
Yeah, no, I've chosen it. I just haven't done it.
Okay. No, that's good. You still got time. So that's fine. Yeah. Guys, the volume of work, what I expect from you.
Are we talking about Munoz, or are we talking about the work at work?
I think that's the whole thing. I think it's the balance between your work, your personal work, your work at work, and the Monash work. I think if you're first full-time students, it'll be a piece of cake. But
yeah, it would be.
I had last time I worked until 2 o'clock in the morning just doing my work, and there was no time in Monash. I think it's just trying to find the time and balancing the time to do things as best as you can. And I get frustrated sometimes because I would love to spend more time doing more Monash, but sometimes it's just impossible.
I second
we
that.
realize that. We do realize that. Guys, I've said it so many times. I said it to you individually, and I may have said it in a group session. The MBA is not rocket science. It's not all of a sudden you're confronted with work which you don't understand, and it will take you hours or weeks to sort out what the hell is going on here. That's not what an MBA is all about. An MBA is about managing time. It's about finding that balance of time so that you can devote sufficient time to your studies and to get through a wonderful learning process. And the more time you spend on it, the better the learning process. But life happens. There's going to be time when it's just going to be impossible for you to do that. And you'll have to catch up somewhere along the line. And sometimes it's just not going to happen. There it is. So that's life. But the more you put in and the more you try to put in, and it's all about time management, really. I've seen people who can manage their time well and they get through it quite well. And I see other people who just can't manage their time and they just fall apart because they just don't get to it. But it's bad time management. It's not, if they managed their time better, they would have, coped better with the studies.
I've been feeling like I've just been working really slowly, and as soon as we get some feedback, we'll know exactly what to look for, and we can actually work a lot more efficiently.
Yeah, it's going to happen. The feedback, by the way, is, as far as I can possibly give you individual feedback or comment on individual postings, I will do that. There will come times when that's not going to be possible, physically possible for me. And what I'll need to do is I will have to give you feedback as a group. In other words, all your submissions, these are the good things that came out of it. These are the not so good things that came out of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly kind of stuff. And I'll give you that kind of feedback. So I'll try my level best to give you as much feedback as possible, and to say, listen, this is where you went wrong. But sometimes it's going to be like group feedback and not individual feedback.
Well, that's also pretty valuable, especially, getting an idea of what everybody else is contributing.
Yes. What I did last time round, when I ran it last year, a year ago, was I didn't mention names. I just said that somebody said this and this and this, and I thought that was particularly good because of that and that and that, and somebody didn't do this or did say this, which I didn't think contributed anything to the discussion, or didn't really appeal, or wasn't relevant to the discussion or whatever. So that I'm not going to mention names, but I will give you that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
Also, some feedback from my side is, it was very interesting for me, the relevance on the topic that we are handling at this point in time. The creativity as well as the innovation part, and the foresight this week for me at work was exact example of what I'm busy with, which made it a lot simpler to stay focused on this course as well. So as long as we can do that, I'll probably cope with the hours. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, guys, can I make a comment? You've got to realize that the legal requirements of an MBA in terms of hours specified by the Council on Higher Education and SAQA is sufficient number of hours to cover, like what we did in 5 weeks, should be a semester course. So we're cramming it in, but it does mean that you have to spend X number of hours on it. Maybe we do not get to all those hours. So that's why if we only count hours after work, then there isn't sufficient number of hours and you guys are not going to sleep for 2 years. It's just as simple as that. But because we introduced the use it now concept, where we try, and we will try in all our units, we will try and get you to apply what you've learned in your workplace. And there are more hours that you spend there. I mean, you spend 10 to 8 or 12 hours per day at work. And if you can apply it there, it's so much the better. Rather than, here is my work, and then come 6 o'clock, then I spend 2 hours with my family, and come 8 o'clock, now it's Monash time. That's not how it's going to be able to put in all the hours that you should.
Well, I think kudos to the program so far. I mean, I didn't have reservations, but I was seriously work. And like Johan said, well, not every element, but certainly elements this week I've been able to implement and utilize and to think about at least. And I end up questioning whether, for example, I am applying the right foresight or innovation or creativity. So right from the start, the word go, I think you can begin to apply your learnings, even at this fresh and tender stage, to everything you do. So it's an exciting module to begin with, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. And that's why I selected this particular module to kick off with. In all other MBA programs, they kick off with the one that is called general management. In some MBAs, they call it general management. In other, they call it introduction to management. We call it leading in a modern era, which is going to be the second one. But I specifically decided to kick off with creativity, innovation, and foresight for this very reason, because I want to lay the foundation for innovative thinking throughout your MBA.
Well, that makes sense. Creative time, creative thinking, you have to find time. If you're quite creative in finding time, making time, and just managing your time and using the opportunities. So I think it is a good starting point.
Sure. Sorry, we can't hear Temba. I just want to, he's written a note here to say that the volume of work is a lot, but I did explain that the MBA requires serious time investment, so it will certainly be a challenge. Temba, you're right, it is a challenge. It's probably the major challenge that you've got. Is to cope with all the work and to be able to read and to watch the videos and to do the exercises. And particularly later on, guys, when you're going to get to the quantitative modules, accounting, money in the firm, all of those, you'll need to do those exercises. You'll need to do the calculations and hand them in and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it is time consuming. It is a challenge. Yeah. Okay, anything else, guys, that you'd like to discuss?
All good.
Are you all coming up with brilliant solutions for the Western Cape in terms of their water crisis?
We have buckets.
We're sitting down Angus Bach and he's going to do a prayer meeting for us that side.
Can you imagine for a second that the rain will... I saw a chart today, and it's way below average that they normally get. If that continues, and instead of ending up the season on 45%, 46%, let's say they end up on less than 30%. Can you just imagine what decisions will have to be made in the Western Cape to see them through the rest of the year?
I think that's a perfect storm and a crisis to manage. That will be a quite excellent one to see.
Yes.
Yeah. And the political lobbying around it, because people be blaming others for mismanagement. So it will become more...
There are solutions, but not all the solutions are short-term solutions.
Yes.
It's going to rectify the situation in the next 12 months. So it's going to be tough. And
we can shower with a friend.
Make those decisions. Sorry, Mike?
Or you can shower with a friend. Type water.
Your friend looks like Mike.
I tried that one with my girlfriend at university, but she didn't want to hear about it. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, guys. By Sunday, obviously, you're going to submit finally, and then my plan is every week to spend the Monday to mark and give you feedback. I'll try and give you feedback on Monday. If not, it will run over to the Tuesday. I will definitely give you, I've already commented on the comments and so on, so I'll give you a bit of feedback on Monday. Tuesday, I'm at a conference the whole day. the morning session, just so that you know, is that there's a new organization that's been founded worldwide. It's called the CMO Foundation. And CMO, as you know, stands for the Chief Marketing Officer Foundation. So what they try to do is to get people who are the chief marketing officers of large corporations to all become members, and then they sort of so-called foundation. And the idea is then for the CMOs of the different companies to meet. And they meet 3 times a year or 4 times a year. And they discuss issues in the interest of marketing, not company against company, but really issues that challenge, the marketing fraternity. I've been invited to serve on their board, and we are establishing the CMO Foundation on Tuesday morning. So I'll be there from 8 o'clock till 1 o'clock. And then from 1 o'clock onwards, I'm the chairperson of the Marketing Association Professional Designation Board. So we're having a board meeting on Tuesday afternoon. So unfortunately, I'm a write-off on Tuesday as far as you guys are concerned. But I'll try and get all the feedback and the marks out by Monday. If not, it will have to run over to Wednesday, unfortunately, next week. But thereafter, it should be okay. All right.
Fine. Thank you. Good.
Good. All right. Last chance. Anything that you need to want to ask? Themba, you're okay? Thumbs up, he says. Okay.
I'd just like to thank all the for the team for the support they've received so far. Everything's excellent. I mean, you send a response, there's like 2 or 3 replies. Shingy's amazing. I don't know when he sleeps. So yeah, everything is working very, very well so far. And when things are not working, the responses come through thick and fast. So well done to you guys.
Okay, let's keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys. We'll chat again.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers, bye.
Sorry, guys.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, guys, before you disappear, just a quick one. It'll be wise for us to get headphones and microphones like mine. You see this kind? It actually just makes it easier for you to communicate, and it kills out some of the microphone problems we'll have. Because most times, the moment you plug it in, it makes it easier. So you don't have to invest for the most expensive. I think less than 100 Rand, you'll be able to pick up a pay from about 80 Rands upwards. So that will just make your life just a little bit easier. But if you can, please bring your tablets and laptops on the Saturday, and we'll make sure that the settings are done. If you can come into campus earlier, I'll be gladly able to assist in that regard.
Magic.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Shiggy.
Thanks.
All right, cool, guys.
All right, guys.